Your boy Ziggler Wiggle, you understand me? Back at you like I left some. Look at you, check this out. Nolazine TV, you understand me? We represent New Orleans. This man travel all over the world, but in the name of Jesus, we believe. Nolazine TV, Ziggler Wiggle. We getting it in and we getting it out our system.
Scud! This Magnolia Levee. You are now watching Nolazine TV. What's hitting?
Right, you know, we already did an interview before, so we're gonna do all that. and like last time, everybody was mad at me, say I was talking too much during the interview.
Man,
So fuck all y'all in the comments. All right, so you know they got a lot that has transpired, happened since we did the interview.
Yeah, what happened like that?
Like you know, a lot of people coming home from jail. You know, a lot of people from the Magnolia doing interviews.
Facts.
So like you know, like how do you feel about just like people that's getting in between what's going on in your presence? Like like all the media people, the mediators, and everybody.
Oh yeah, you know how I feel about people like commenting on people from my neighborhood with them going back and forth.
Yeah,
they don't have no business commenting on that. You feel me? That's basically like like anything you see on the internet. If you don't like something, you can stroll past it. You feel me? I guess nowadays it feel like everybody got an opinion now and got to express their opinion, but don't have no consequence with it. You feel me? You could be way up in Tyler, Texas, saying something about the Magnolia, and you don't got no consequences. You ain't got to come outside.
Cause like ever since I seen Gangsta come home, now I just see everybody got a voice of opinion. Everybody doing channels. Everybody everybody open my platform.
Giggity cracked this shit open. You can't deny that. Giggity cracked it open. You feel me? Fuck Giggity cracked that bitch open and got it popping. You feel me? But they got a lot of people that be doing interviews, and they probably tell too much of stuff that's going on because they still got people alive that's kin to them, or they cousin did something, or ain't no statute of limitation on no robbery or murder. A lot of people don't know that. You feel me? Ain't no statute of limitation on robbery or murder.
So actually but the code of the street, I hear everybody else say do you feel like is it called snitching if a person ratted on their dead body? Because me personally, I wouldn't care if a nigga ratted on me if I'm dead.
Yeah, if you did,
But also before you go, I'm gonna say what Lil Soul Slim said, and he man, but C Murder had the opportunity to do it to his daddy because they both at a show that night, and he didn't do that. So how do you feel about that whole thing?
Cause C Murder,
C Murder could have said Soul Slim killed dude after he died, but he didn't choose to do that.
That's what he should have did. He a damn fool if he didn't do that. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it 100, man. If C could get out on the technicality of somebody being dead, man, C better walk the fuck up out of that motherfucker. You feel me? But at the same time, I get what you're saying. You don't want to see nobody. If you can see that person get out of jail off of dead body, you don't want to see nobody locked up, man. I don't care who it is. You feel me?
I wouldn't care if somebody say I did it after I'm dead. It's no consequences for me.
It's no consequences for me. Yeah, you gone. You feel me? But that be personal business too. Right. That that they have it with each other. You feel me? So fuck, I gotta fall back on that. That's above my pay grade. You feel me?
Cause there's so many codes to the street. And it's hard to things.
It ain't too many codes to the street. You just gotta fall in line with how you been raised and who raised you. You feel me? Niggas don't want to stand on that. Niggas be having personal situations that they be having behind the scene and then try to put it out there like they don't have no personal situation or feeling towards that person. You feel me?
Right.
I'm not like that. I don't give a fuck if my op in jail. If he could get out, let him get out. You feel me? We'll take care of our business on the street. You feel me?
So everybody been probably seeing you in so many interviews, courtesy of Video Wayne.
Believe that. Shout out Video Wayne, my dog here. What is in for?
So I want you to bring it back to tell, because but a lot of things we didn't actually chime into the last time we did the interview. How was it? I want you to bring it back to when you used to be in the park and like everybody just outside on the corner.
Yeah, that was the time. That was the time to be alive. You feel me? Like niggas don't understand. Like being outside then, it was like you really. That's why you see a lot of people don't go into detail about their childhood. Like, man, if we don't know you from school or none of that, or you wasn't off the post back then, they gonna tell part of their story. Like, nigga, talk about when you was in middle school, elementary, when I know you was beefing with the mouth and we had to walk home from the parade to Endymion or something, or Lee Circle. Niggas can't go that far back, you feel me? It'd be a nigga hopped off the porch in 95 or something, or somebody brung him around the neighborhoods, you feel me? Right. And then they want to talk greasy or whatever now, you feel me?
And they have a lot of people that like Magnolia. They had a lot of people like,
man, what motherfucking elementary you went to? You went to you went to Tomalaphone and Capee Horny? Did you go to Worcester? Come on, man, you got to come up off of that. Tell the whole story. Don't tell no bullshit. Ain't nothing wrong with telling your story. Niggas be trying to skip certain parts of their life to tell what. Just skip straight to that part. You can't skip a part. Be honest, man.
So yeah, but I saw this. I'm like debate online. Like I want your knowledge. Like, and so I'm like, which side was popping more in the Magnolia?
Which side was popping more in the Magnolia? What you mean, like what you consider popping?
Like I saw Giggity and talking to like a few old G's about hey, but the new and the old.
The new side of the old side.
Yeah, they're like, man.
Like nigga literally was arguing about the new side.
It wasn't arguing. They just was debating who was a. Like who had really clothing, who was getting the most money, different things like that. So, far as your knowledge, like you looking at all of it.
Like, man, you talking about, man, I don't look at it like old side, new side, me, you feel me? I look at it as my whole project, you feel me? Because when we get to school or whatever,
y'all still
we still on the yard. I'm on the yard with Teddy and Herb, you feel me? Like, I don't do no new side, old side shit, you feel me? I don't know where niggas get that from. I rep the Magnolia, you feel me? Because even when I go on for rent, by my uncle Zoe, you feel me? I'm by juvenile. I don't be like, nigga, y'all old side niggas doing this here, you feel me?
But I think every project kind of still divided in they
certain
front,
ways.
they back, they certain sides.
Oh, so you mean it like Willow and shit like LD?
Yeah.
Everybody gonna say that they side was the poppin' side, you feel me? So I'll be biased if I say the new side is the poppin' side.
And what side you from?
I'm from the new side. I'm off of Willow Street.
So you gotta tell them.
Nah, I ain't saying that, you heard? Because my Uncle Zoe gonna be, if my Uncle Zoe was living, that nigga be like, nigga, you better get your fucking ass out here talking about the new side popping. My Uncle Zoe love the TC, you feel me? That was that nigga hood, him, Juve, and Yogi, you feel me? And Rusty. I asked Rusty what side was the popping side of motherfucking Kirby. I'm not saying no side. Magnolia, what is it for? Shout out my nigga Ivory Lee, you heard me?
So, like, they have like, like I said the first time we did the interview, they didn't have like New Orleans being actually looked at for its music.
Yeah.
And like now we got Ride 49, repping New Orleans, but also being from downtown.
Yeah, I like Ride 49.
Yeah.
I like Ride 49 because of his spirit and everything, you feel me? Because Ride 49, he basically spreading his wings, and that's what you're supposed to do. Like any upcoming new artist, you really need to follow his format. You feel me? That man linking with everything that's moving.
And like I was just speaking on that because I'm like he being from downtown, like the hip. Yeah, but the city was always kind of known for like uptown artists.
Yeah.
And also they had a few outskirts, like maybe like railroad artists.
You gotta think like, man, fuck. I look at the city as far as it's like. I kind of like Mardi Gras time, you feel me? The night war always been deep, you feel me? Like Mr. Magic, man, fuck, boy, you
I realized I was young when that song came on, the night war.
Boy, you ever been in a club and that shit? I'm from the night war.
So y'all people from the night war.
Boy, I was like, Lord, or either me being out the Magnolia, we'll walk down St. Charles. Walking down St. Charles during Mardi Gras, you'll have a fight with the tent wall, which is the St. Thomas. Then you'll head farther down, you'll get into it with the Melf, the Cali, you're working your way down. But when we get to Canal Street, we all got to combine. Because the night wall's so motherfucking deep, boy. Them bitches be running the whole canal. You be like, when the line gonna end? Man, what? You be like, when the line gonna fucking end, boy? Them niggas be deep.
So, like, not trying to be biased or nothing like that. I'm actually this question too, because, like, people cross Canal feel like in a certain way, and other people feel like who in the city back in the day started rocking? I'm like Dickie Fitz.
Started rocking Dickie Fits
first, like really rocking that shit.
For me, I know an OG. I saw Stepper rock it before, and I saw an OG off of Washington Street out the Magnolia named Onk. He used to always rock Dickie Fits with a newspaper under his arm, and that's how he worked the streets. You feel me? He was running the whole strip in Dickie with Daniel Greens. You feel me?
Right. Yeah, because I've been seeing this debate like, man.
What they saying? Cross the Canal started the
trend of this, man. We've been rocking Dickie Fits like it's
who they
it's like
saying,
a dress code. They ain't saying nobody name. They talking about just that certain place.
Like you know me, I come from an era where everything that I looked up to or seen, I had to put a name with it specifically.
Right.
Like,
okay.
For a while, when before I lost my weight, I was a heavy set nigga. I looked up to Oz. Oz, one of the flyest niggas in New Orleans with clothes. This man was wearing Coogee and all of that before niggas know what it was. You feel me? Iceberg and shit like that. You feel me? So I always look for fashion for different people. You feel me? Like when you talk about minks and shit like that, you gotta bring up Bub out the tent wall. Them niggas the first niggas I saw with the mink hat and the coat. You feel me? That's my era. I loved it that era. You feel me? That gave me motivation to hustle. You feel me?
And I just thought about something too, like how you was like,
and Telly. You feel me?
Right, when you grew up, you was like, man, y'all used to have to walk and have like fights.
Yeah.
On like the tent wall.
Yeah.
So how did you get so cool with, Lil Derek? If basically y'all projects was at odds for a while.
Yeah. What really got me cool back there was Derek always brought me, before we go in the tent wall, we always hung on Chippewa. That's where his mama stayed at, on Chippewa. So we started easing in the Thomas. I ain't never always popped up in the daytime like that. That's really like, boy, that's a hard move to go in the Thomas. You feel me?
That's why I was like, yeah.
Like, man, Derek actually worked me in like that. You feel me? And the guy who used to rap for Bub and them label, I forgot their label name. I think their label name was Mob Figures or something. Midnight. And I also had a partner from the tent wall that I went to school with, Steve Boy from out the St. Thomas. So every time I used to go back there, I'd call him and me and him would hook up. And that's basically like, he wouldn't let nothing happen to me. And plus, I knew Tutty and Zutty them, you feel me?
Actually, this question, like, why you think when like one person get into, with somebody from a different project, that a whole project had to get into it? Because a lot of people lost their lives over misunderstandings from project shit. And also, what people don't know, after 10 to 15 years go by, jail and you get kids, get family, y'all gotta like coexist now.
Yeah, I think it's just we come from an era where like when you talk about somebody off Willow Street, like you bring up a Turk or you bring up my partner Bobby, like I don't look at them as like friends. Them damn my brothers. You feel me? So if a nigga like, man, fuck Bub or fuck whoever, you feel me? I'm rocking with him 10 toes down. Right or wrong, we'll handle that shit later in the neighborhood, you feel me? Like whenever you out on the outskirts, you gotta hold your people down, you feel me?
And like that was like, it's crazy, like
even
so many projects was just at odds.
But then you gotta think when you get of age, everybody be accepting. Like, Scoring them ain't had to come fuck with me on some music shit, or Butch when they got Undisputed, you feel me? Like, they put that aside, how they felt about my hood, you feel me? And I think right now we in the era where nobody don't want to respect each other, you feel me? And then you got the internet even more so, you feel me? Because a nigga disrespect you on the internet and get more likes for disrespect than respect.
People ain't just, everybody feel like they somebody now too as well. Like ain't nobody just want to put a background and be humble.
Like everybody act like, for me, like, a nigga be like, oh, you gotta be a millionaire to be happy or live your life. That don't work for me, you feel me? I ain't, okay, if I get $1 million, I get $1 million. If I don't, I don't. I'm still good with every day waking up in my life and I'm happy, you feel me? You gotta be able, I'm able to, I could get up tomorrow and be like, fuck it, I'm going to Greece. I'm cool with that. I don't need no $1 million to go to Greece. You don't need no $1 million to go to Greece. Niggas act like a plane ticket $1 million, man.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to Africa this year. I know
you feel me? Yeah. Well, I wake up on a regular day just looking for something to get into and expose myself to a new experience. You feel me?
So, I want to know how you feel about also something on the internet, because, I just think it's weird, like, people get on Clubhouse, do crazy type of shit, like,
Oh, speak
like,
too fast on subjects.
Speaking crazy over, like speaking on street stuff on the line, the line stuff. How you feel about that?
Oh man, that's disrespect. Ain't no real gangster speaking on no, going into no depth about no gangster shit or no opinion on no nigga. Man, you know how many niggas done disrespecting me online in the comment? I'm not responding to that. When I see you, then we'll be able to talk whatever it's gonna be when we see each other, you feel me? I know one specific person I know for sure disrespect me online. I ain't never respond to him yet, but when we see each other, we'll have that conversation then, you feel me? Like, I'm not about to go back and forth online, because every charge I ever had, I ain't never had a co-defendant, you feel me?
That's always a good thing.
I ain't
and
never
that's
had
what my mama told me.
Like, I ain't never had a co-defendant.
Like,
a lot of people need a battery in their back to go do something. Like, you might have a nigga who about his business, but he need another nigga to say, man, you gonna let that slide? You gonna let that slide? I ain't from that era. I'm from the era where, oh man, let's get it. We gonna get it. Either you coming or you ain't coming, you feel?
Yeah, a lot of people need some type of encouragement to do shit, like drugs or a person or something to make them, like, cause I tell a lot of people on sober, they ain't
even like that.
And like a lot of dudes ain't like it when they ain't, like, acting when they not with their friends.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary.
And you know that, that means he not comfortable with himself, you feel me? But I ain't gonna down a person because they like that. It take a minute for you to get to that era, you feel me?
I'm actually opposite. If I get to somebody, I'm gonna tell my people don't do nothing like that.
I wouldn't tell my people to do nothing. Like, that's crash test dummy type
like,
shit.
Basically,
but the young me would have been like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna hold it down in public. Man, that nigga out there, hit everybody out there.
I feel like if, you know, like, you got a family too. If I get you involved, I gotta accept all the responsibilities that come with you too. I got you into this. Me, I think like that. Everybody don't think like that. You letting your partner go ride, but them dudes might get your partner by himself. But on something that was so small.
Something small,
And like, you
most of our beef at home right now be small beefs or misunderstanding, or you want to control the area, and this person, you know, y'all live together or whatever.
My whole thing with the beefing part is, like, y'all don't even go visit every y'all man's mom ain't giving them money after
none of that.
You done got this man killed on some small as you did. And you
like, even in my neighborhood territory within itself, like, you got Willow Street, you got Clara, you got 6. Somebody might be hustling on Clara with diesel, and they don't want the person on Willow coming to 6 in Willow in the middle part with diesel. You basically start short stopping the sale, you feel me? So many times I done collided crew with one of my friends or any one of my friends over a short stop, you feel me? Basically, you catch a sale before he catch a sale. And we all from the same neighborhood in the same block.
So, like, when do you think, like everybody from the North start really like, man, we from the North, we about to rock this how we need to rock this?
I don't see right now.
Do you feel like they always did it, or they just started doing it?
Started doing what? Like
more
sticking together?
Yeah, more sticking together, more.
Man, I just saw something online where a nigga was interviewing somebody from my neighborhood, and they was bashing another artist from my neighborhood. And OG was interviewing him, you feel me? I was like, man, that shit is crazy to me. Like, I wouldn't want to blast nobody from my neighborhood on no internet or none of that shit about he fake or he ain't real.
Right.
Like, that shit just ain't, I don't know where they get that from.
I just think people should, nothing that happens in the street should ever touch me.
But you know, now we got everybody trying to get YouTube checks and get some likes and clicks and rails getting money now. Like, man, it's more than that, you feel me? Like, you know, anything a profit now, so everybody just doing however they doing to go viral, you feel me? Like, I ain't built off of that viral shit. Like, man, niggas like you can't get a job and live your life, you feel me?
You ain't trying to do that. Everybody.
I don't get why people don't feel like a job is on.
I think Instagram made you think you got to be an entrepreneur and a boss.
Yeah.
But everybody.
Now that's crazy for everybody to think that they got to be a boss.
I think everybody know what come with it. Everybody have a story they struggle being an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, it ain't easy.
Yeah, even when you eat, you still get depression, or you get pressure from something else that you want next.
Because you go on a different goal.
Yeah, like, basically you could go cop a Mercedes. You had a Mercedes. Say you had a Mercedes for a year. Next year you're gonna be like, well, I want the big dog Mercedes now. I want a Maybach.
You always want something else.
You're gonna always want something else, and you deal with that pressure every day, you feel me? But you gotta have somebody to level that out for you too. Hopefully you find somebody in your family or get a wife or a girl who could normalize that decision in your head for you too.
What does it with the 90s I'm like Gangsta mean
to
New Orleans. Like no, not to New Orleans, to the Magnolia, like giggity. Cause like I heard stories
he
like
a lot
people
to New
like
Orleans,
people be excited to see him when he came to the project.
We ain't gonna just be like, we ain't gonna just corner this shit and make it just like no Magnolia thing. Like giggity is a fucking staple for New Orleans. You feel me? 10 Watt Bub a staple for New Orleans. Telly Hankton a staple for New Orleans. Motherfucking Birdman a staple for New Orleans. Beezel a staple for New Orleans. Like, you gotta think, like, everybody who I named, or when you think of a name from New Orleans, you think of respect. Like, they know it's a no play zone, you feel me? And niggas stand on that, you feel me?
Cause, you know, I just be seeing the documentary, they be like, man, they used to be excited when he come in the
Oh
project.
man, Giggity is a
they
character,
was like,
you feel
like,
me?
to the Magnolia, like, he was bigger than the Birdman. They was excited to see him.
Yeah, you can say that, cause he was more on hands and out there.
Right.
Fuck, Hot is, you feel me? You know, Birdman is Birdman. You can't take that away from him. But Hot Beezel is a hot boy. Like, man, this like really hand reach. You feel me? You got to think Blabber, staple in our neighborhood. Man, you got to think Telly Hankton really held it down for the city. Man, he really motivated young people when there wasn't nobody to motivate us. Man, Telly Hankton had a Benz, Mink Beanie, and all of that. Like, you feel me? You got to think Bub had a real Benz. Like, who you know from our neighborhoods holding it down, coming through with five Benzes, and you feel me? Basically, he was Meech. He was Meech. What Meech is to Detroit and Atlanta.
Right.
Bub and Gangsta and Hot and them is the same thing for us in New Orleans.
So when you speak of New
Like
Orleans,
you got to think like it ain't just uptown niggas neither. They got niggas like Sean Smith from downtown and other people from out the 6th Ward that, you know, held it down for downtown, or even people out the St. Bernard and shit, you feel me?
Well, I would say like, because, you know, like it just probably because Cash Money became what they became. That makes, when you think of New Orleans, you like, man, something about the Magnolia.
Magnolia is basically
just,
like a landmark.
You gotta think a lot of people became pop stars.
Yeah, and you gotta think like, you know, we got a whole, man, if you think about all the rappers out the Magnolia, from Juvenile, Six Shot, J Electronical, me, you got Corey C, you got motherfucking Wacko, you got, man, it's just undeniable, International T, you got Nino, you got Toki. Man, we unstoppable for wise as rappers and telling our story, you feel me?
Okay, so I got a few more questions which like, you know, like, I know you don't live in New Orleans no more, but like, you was in New Orleans the first time New Orleans was like the murder capital.
Yeah.
And now it's a murder capital again. Like, do you see any resemblance of like what was going on in the early 90s to like now?
Yeah, you see a resemblance. It's basically get it how you live. That's what it's going on for right now. It's basically get it how you live. You feel me? And that's always gonna be the culture down there. You feel me? Like it's a no place zone.
But the only difference I think that happened from like you know the 90s to now, that they created the East.
Yeah,
and they put the Magnolia, the Cali.
After Katrina, how everybody spread it out now.
They put all them hoods.
Like that's basically like if I go home and say my auntie live in the East, I go by my auntie house, not knowing somebody who I ain't gonna say no hood, somebody who from my childhood I had a problem with. He could be living next door, spot me through the window, and just basically hop on me. You feel me? And then you got switches now, you feel me? Nigga don't even give a fuck about shooting close range no more. Nigga like, I got a switch and I got a 30 round clip. There y'all go, y'all can have it all.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
Like it ain't, you know, back in the day you had a revolver or you had 10 shots, 16. You like, man, I gotta get a little close on him. 30, nigga like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot from down the street.
Bitches out there.
Yeah, like,
They be missing still. Like,
and still missing, you feel?
Like, you just can't get right.
Yeah. Cause nigga don't even count no more. Nigga just want the name now. Like, oh, that boy bang that bitch up. You saw how they were running.
But the fans even trying to scam. Like, you can go to switch. You doing these 10 years.
Yeah.
Easy.
But then you know you got different drugs too. You got fentanyl now. We ain't had fentanyl. All we had was motherfucking 7 Star, motherfucking other shit to cut heroin with. Now you got fentanyl. Nigga like, fuck it, I don't even want the heroin. Just give me all fentanyl. I'm about to make the bop pop.
All right. So tell us, I'm like, what's next for you?
Next for me, you know, I'm still been working on my movie and I'm just living life, man. Every day I'm just happy to be alive from my era. Get love from my people, you feel me? Man, I love New Orleans, you feel me? Like, you know, I love that motherfucker, but you know, I know I can't see myself living there ever again. But I love that motherfucker. I miss it every day. Like I might dip in and dip out, you feel me? But for wise, it's not a lot of opportunity there. But I just want everybody who lived there to know, like, man, you can step out the box and just to clear your head, just to at least take one trip out of the city just to see how it feels. I don't give a fuck if you go to Chicago. I don't give a fuck if you go to Utah. Just get out the city for at least, take the kids out. Bring the kids with you, you feel me? To DC. Anywhere, but just get out of New Orleans sometimes. Just get out of New Orleans sometimes.
I got you. And also, last but not least, tell everybody, I'm like, what can they find on social media?
Believe that. On social media, fuck all my shit, Magnolia Levee. Magnolia Levee. L-E-E-V-E. That's L-E-E-V-E. Magnolia Levee. Holla at me, nigga. You know what it's hitting for. This Nolazine. Scott. Anything else?
If Idris Elba.